just figured I'd give you guys a quick update. I ended up taking that pharmacology test. I was freaking out about this test. Professor was telling me how it was going to be a full test on, the chapters we had covered. I get there, it's a really short test, maybe more like a quiz, 15 questions or so, and it only covered dosage calculations, which I'm okay with. Now, when the final rolls around, I'll be more prepared because I studied my butt off for that thing. So I did well on that. There was only one question that was wrong, but it turned out it was an incorrect answer in the answer bank. The actual answer for the question was not given as an option, so that question got thrown out. Next thing, a lot of the tests I told you guys about before actually got kind of shuffled around. Next Monday is actually going to be my final for pharmacology. That does make it kind of scary because I've only taken, I think, 2 quizzes for that class, and then it'll be a final basically. So I need to do really well on the final to make sure that I get a passing grade. I did well on both the quizzes, so I don't think it'll be a huge issue, but it does make it a little iffier when you only have your 2 quizzes to balance out your total grade in the class. I ended up only having the 1 quiz this week, and as I mentioned before, Monday will be my final for my first section of pharmacology, and then I believe on Thursday we'll be doing an exam for EKGs, which isn't a big deal. I was a little bit nervous going into EKGs, but they're actually not as difficult as I thought. The main thing I had an issue with were the heart blocks, but I actually found some funny little mnemonics that can help you remember. For the first one, if the R is far from P, then you have a first degree. So we know that a first degree heart block, the PR interval is going to be longer than the normal 0.2 seconds. So your QRS complex itself is going to be normal, and the R to R intervals are also going to be normal. What's actually happening in this process is when the electrical impulse is going from the sinoatrial node, and it's getting blocked somewhere, either in the AV node or the bundle of His. So it's causing an abnormal delay in that segment, which is why you see that PR interval getting longer and longer, depending on how long that delay is. For the second degree heart block, you have 2 types, right? So for type 1, there is the Winkelbach and Mobitz type 1. And the mnemonic for that one is going to be wider, wider, wider drop. Now you have a Winkelbach. And the reason that is you're going to get a progressive prolongation of that PR interval until basically one of the impulses doesn't make it all the way through. So you'll have your P, you'll get your little line that'll go up to your QRS complex, and you'll notice it gets a little bit longer, and then all of a sudden the QRS actually drops or gets blocked. So that's your second degree heart block type 1. So for that one, what's happening in the AV junction, there's some type of abnormality causing it to get blocked or delayed until finally an impulse actually does not make it through on one of those journeys. For the second degree type 2, if some P's don't get through, then you have a Mobitz 2. So for that one, basically what it's saying is that you're going to have a series of non-conducted P waves. And that's what it means by the P's not getting through. So basically what's happening is it's getting blocked after the P wave is created. That's why you keep seeing more P waves trying to be created. And then eventually you will get a QRS complex, it will get down to the ventricles, but you may see, again, after maybe 1 or 2, you'll see a few more P waves, non-conducting, of course, not getting through, and then you'll get your QRS complex. Alright, so the last and final is the third degree heart block. So we already know that with a third degree heart block, you're going to have a complete blockage. So basically the atria, the top part of your heart, the 2 chambers on the top, are going to be functioning independently from the bottom of your heart, or the ventricles. What's happened here is the conduction system between the atria and the ventricles has become completely blocked. your P to P interval is going to be normal and your R to R interval is going to be normal, but they're not going to correlate with each other. They're not going to be in any type of sensible order. So although if you measure them out, again, you're going to have similar measurements between each R to R segment, similar measurements between each P to P segment, but they're not going to line up. The mnemonic for that one is if your P's and Q's don't agree, then you've got a third degree. All right, so basically those are my mnemonics. Again, I'll put them down here. I'm not even sure if I'm going to use this at this point. Depends on if I can piece it all together. Because, you know, I'm a student still as well. I just thought I would share some of the mnemonics that were shown to me, and hopefully they can help some of you guys out also. If you guys have any questions, or if you use different mnemonics or something else to help you remember the different types of heart blocks or any of the other rhythms that we have to study for EKGs, let me know. Leave them down in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and let me know what you thought. All right, I'll see you next time. Only reason I'm surviving.